All right, so I finally made myself a little setup here. I figured it would be a little bit more aesthetically pleasing than just me being in my car. Although I'm pretty much trading off better sound quality for better visual quality. But I thought this would be a nice little setup for myself. You know, I got some Trump paraphernalia there, and my little Crusader shirt. That's actually a shirt, but I folded it up to make it look more like a flag or something. We take Constantinople. So, I wanted to talk about the ugliness of the left, both inside and out. And I know I'm gonna sound shallow a lot, and I don't give a fuck because I really don't like these people. Fuck them. They're horrible people. And I'm gonna start what makes them ugly on the inside because honestly, it doesn't matter whether you're a 10 or a 1. If you do things that a lot of these leftists do, you're a 1. You're just an ugly person. I don't care if you're on the cover of Playboy magazine. You're an ugly, disgusting human being. And a lot of these people are. So I think back, and I think it was in 2014 or in 2015. There was a man in Canada. I forgot where exactly, but he opened up a men's shelter. And this was for the homeless men in the community so that they can go to a place where they'll be warm, they'll have food, shelter, just a safe place to be and sleep. In our society, although men outnumber, although men who are homeless outnumber women, I think 9 to 1. Women seem to be the ones who mostly get the attention. Women and children. I understand children should be the number one focus no matter what, but women and children get the main attention for these shelters. And you can even think back in the movie Pursuit of Happiness, where Will Smith takes his son. His name was he was playing Chris Gardner. Chris, I think that was his name. Takes his son to a homeless shelter, and the woman says, "We only take women and children. We'll take the child, but we're not taking you." And so they spent the night in the subway. So a man in Canada said, "Well, I'm going to make a shelter for men, and presumably children." What ended up happening was feminists berated this man, harassed this man, attacked this man to the point of suicide. That's what these people are. That's who we're dealing with. Feminists are as left as you can get. There's very few feminists out there who aren't horrible human beings. So off the top of my head, I would probably say Christina Hobbs Summers and maybe Lacey Green for the most part. But this is who they are. They're such awful human beings that they will take somebody who's trying to make a positive difference in his community, in the world, and made him kill himself. And they laughed about it. They laughed about it. They made somebody kill themselves and they laughed about it. That's ugly to me. There's nothing beautiful about that. There's nothing cute or attractive about a human being that will bully another human being to the point of killing themselves. Imagine trying to do something good for the world. Trying to do something that will make a positive difference in the lives of countless. And the world shovels shit in your face. That's what the left does. You can look at even to lesser extents, to less extreme extents. Mr. Damore, I forget his first name. He wrote up a memo that was trying. He worked for Google, and he wrote a memo that was trying to explain the differences between men and women, so that more opportunity for women can be presented for them in the tech community, in the tech field. And they had him fired for that because he dared to say that there are differences in male and female behavior. They branded him as a sexist, and they made him lose his job. A talented human being, a man who just wanted to, he was probably leftist himself, and he certainly had feminist ideas if he wanted to help women in tech. and they had him get fired. 2 women decided to open up a burrito shop, and I think Portland. They shut it down. They shut down their shop. They had an idea. They wanted to create value and to feed people. They just wanted a little business. They had it shut down. A man who landed a satellite on a fucking asteroid had to go on a tearful apology tour because he wore a shirt. The left made him do that. Leftist people made him do that. They ruined his reputation because he wore an anime shirt. Think what you will of anime, but that's the kind of stuff that they do. And let's not even get started on Antifa, where they will physically attack you. Even if you're a leftist, they'll attack you because you're a fascist. Liberals get the bullet too, as they say. And this ugliness on the inside manifests itself on the outside. It physically manifests itself. They do it to themselves, or just somehow it just changes them. I don't know how or why. But you can see the ugliness come out. When they do it on purpose, you can look at Miley Cyrus. I mean, back in her Disney days, she was cute. I mean, she was a little haughty. I mean, not when she was minor. But, you know what I mean. She was a pretty girl. And then feminism happened. Leftism happened. And then she became pretty much the embodiment of all that is degenerate in the West. Drugs, promiscuity, pretty much those two. That's all you have to think about when you think about Miley Cyrus. Poppin' Molly's. I mean, she's a disgusting person. She's not attractive at all to me now. She's gross. She's literally gross. Like, I've seen pictures of her. She doesn't shave her armpits, and she's just hair shaved. She has the same hair as mine sometimes. It's really weird. They do it to themselves. You can look at those. It was memes a little while back where it would be before and after feminism, and these women who were just, they look like great people. They look like really pretty, cute women who just seem like to be a joy to be around, and they have their, and after feminism, they have their tattooed face, shaved head, and black lipstick. I mean, honestly, at this point, if I see a chick with black lipstick, I'm done. That tells me everything I have to know. Unnaturally colored hair and black lipstick, you're done. I already know all about you. You're all the same. It's true. If you meet one, you literally meet them all. They all somehow look the same. And that's it. I mean, and in terms of it just happening naturally, they look like bottom dwellers. They look like they have the darkness around their eyes. Do I have dark around my eyes? I don't want to sound crazy. But they have like this darkness around their eyes. They look like really just sloppy, and they look just gross and just unhappy. And that's what it is. That's what really makes them look this way. It's just this miserableness. Because they know that they live in a world, their world, the world of a leftist is a world where the fascists have taken over, and you have to watch everything you say, otherwise you're a sexist or a racist or any sort of bigot. And it's even worse for the men, because especially a white man who's a liberal, you're the bottom. You're in the bottom. You're in the bottom, and you're told that you're in the top, which is why you're in the bottom, if that makes sense. It doesn't have to make sense, but it's how it is. And these leftist men, they're just the most pathetic human beings I can ever think of meeting. They look like mice, just like little rats in a sewer, constantly looking around, afraid of being taken up by a harpy feminist because he said or did something wrong, because he stared a little too long, or because he said a microaggression. And so this fear just stresses them out. And on top of all that, leftists love taking drugs, and that ruins them because, this YOLO mentality of just do whatever feels good now. And whatever feels good now is taking pills and drinking and all this sort of degenerate behavior that is just overly done, that they just do too much of. And it just ruins them in so many ways. A miserable life, drugs, physically, deforming yourself, and just doing ugly things to people makes a leftist the most ugliest thing that you can ever imagine. Conversely, you look at the right, and of course, there's a lot of ugly people on the right. But to me, it's not that much. I used to be a leftist, and it might show because, the left kind of left me scarred and deformed in a way. I used to believe in all that, and it sort of shows. I certainly don't anymore, thank God. I don't sort of look like that anymore. But when I used to be on the left, I would get into these debates online with conservatives, and I would lose every time. But the thing is, they very rarely ever talked about my race. They very rarely ever came out with just pejoratives and ad hominems, and they never tried to find out where I lived. They never tried to find out where I worked. They never tried to do they just wanted to own me in a debate. And they did a lot of times. And it's just a whole different demeanor with these people. And the fact that these people also, they know what is beautiful in the world. To have a family, to have God, to uplift other people, to uplift their community, to uplift their city, their state, their nation. These are all beautiful things. These are all things that creates a civilization. And they're happy because they add to that. Worrying about microaggressions, that's nothing to them because there's a whole country that they think about. There's a whole civilization that they think about. So they're not worried about offending somebody over something small. And so they live happier lives because when you worry about the big things first, the little things just fall into place and it's just not important. And they take care of the big things. They would get these things done in their lives. I mean, you can see statistically conservatives, people on the right, give more to charity. They do more for their community. They help more people. These are all beautiful things. These are all things that just bring hope for humanity. And this is what they do. And it shows. There was a meme that went around showing, the differences between left-wing women and right-wing women. The right, you had Tomi Lahren, you had Lauren Southern, you had Stacey Dash, you had trying to think of them all at once. Beautiful women who are fighting for something big. And on the left, you had Lena Dunham, you have Amy Schumer, you have, oh God, I mean, fuck, even like Madonna, who just looks like a crack whore. Like, these are ugly people. That Rachel Maddow, oh, ugly. That's on the left. And look at the things they worry about. Look at the world that they live in, and that shows. So that's what makes the left ugly. That's what makes the leftist world an ugly place to live in. It makes it literally an Orwellian nightmare. And I don't ever want to go back to that. I'm happy where I am. And I'm so happy to have been red-pilled 2016. The summer of 2016. And I'm never going back. So, thank you so much for watching and listening to my rant. Please like and subscribe. And if you think that I am a shallow, sexist, horrible, evil person, let me know in the comments. Or if you think that the left really is ugly, horrible people, let me know why. And I'll see you there. Thank you and have a great one.